Hi there guys and welcome back to the channel. It's time for another preview. I will apologise again for not having a preview for our last game on Monday night against Bournemouth. Was Ryder Cup weekend leading up to that, so I do apologise. That kind of took control of the household during that weekend, so I apologise. But we're back for a preview for our game at the weekend, tomorrow in fact, and it is against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Now Wolves, I'm not feeling too confident about this game. I think this is the start of a really tricky run we've got coming up. We've got Everton, Spurs, Chelsea, Arsenal coming up in the weeks to come, and I'm not feeling very confident about this run of form, the way we're playing. We're not showing enough consistency for me at the moment. Stupid stuff in like Bournemouth. It was literally a game of two halves. Really poor first half in my opinion. Gave the ball away far too much. Be sure to check out the vlog, guys, if you haven't seen it already. And then second half we were much better. Max Meyer got more of the ball, which he didn't get in the first half. He was key in distributing it and you know, setting the tempo of that second half. A lot quicker, a lot more dynamic, a lot more running just at the defence, you know, causing problems down the wing. Van Arnold took a good goal, but it was, again, a stupid mistake from Saka that cost us what would have been a very good point away at Bournemouth. I would have taken it, and I'm sure most Palace fans would have taken a point. In the end, we come away with nothing because of a stupid elbow. So he's got something to prove coming into this Wolves game. He's got to bounce back, as does the rest of the team. Because if we play the same way against Bournemouth, Wolves, I think, will absolutely hammer us. So looking at the Wolves team, they like play three at the back with wing backs, and it's been working very well from them. You've got to look, they've already got 2 points against both Manchester clubs, undefeated against the Manchester clubs, one of them being away at United, of course, a great goal from Moutinho. Their signings are all starting to click, and they've clicked really quickly. If you looked at a team like West Ham, for example, they had a really slow start to the season. Looked like for one stage they could challenge our 6 games without a win record, without a point even, record from last season. But yeah, they had a lot of new signings, over £100 million worth of signings at West Ham, and it's only recently I think you've started to see them gel, click, and you've seen the results now. They're starting to beat Man United. You know, they're starting to get some good results, and their players that they signed, Felipe Anderson being one of the key ones in my opinion, are starting to click, and you know, they've adapted to the Premier League now. It's taken a bit of time, but now it's starting to work. With Wolves, they hit the ground running and they've just looked like they're continuing their great form from the Championship and strengthening into the Premier League this season. And it's worrying for any other team that's playing them, but fair play to Wolves. You know, they bought the right players, a very solid Portuguese setup there, and it's working. And up front as well, the Jimenez, their Mexican striker, starting to get goals. It's always important for your striker to start getting goals, especially as a foreign player coming to the Prem for the first time. You can't really depend on your wingers and midfielders too much, like we have with Zaha. I think that's you know, you need to have your strikers chipping in with goals consistently. And by consistently, I mean 1 every 2 or 3 games, just to keep the ball rolling on that front. But yeah, Wolves I'm very worried about, and I could see this honestly going Wolves' way unless we step up our game from Monday night. So if I'm going to be honest, I'm going to go straight into the predicted lineup for Palace. Talk a little bit more about how I think we will act towards the game, and then obviously I'll do my predicted scoreline. So predicted team, I'm going to change it up a bit this week. Obviously, I've normally predicted teams that I think Roy Hodgson would pick, but I think they're becoming a bit too obvious and a bit too, you know, they're a bit samey. Every week it seems to be the same lineup I'm predicting. So I want to do it my way now. I want to put the team I would put out. And that will also open it up to you guys in the comments as well to put down below your predicted lineups as well for the Palace team against Wolves. So for me, I would stick with the same back 5. Been very solid. Hennessy's been a revelation this season, to be honest. He's probably one of our best players, and no one would have expected that this time last season. So fair play to him. So I'd have him in goal, and then the same back 4: Wan-Bissaka, Tompkins, Sakho, Van Arnold. As I said, Sakho, big game for him to make up for what he did against Bournemouth, and also prove to the French setup that they made the right decision in picking him for the French squad. Congratulations to him for that. Now, where I change things up is in the midfield. I think we've had so many weeks where we want Meyer into the side, but that also means dropping a player that doesn't necessarily deserve to get dropped. And I think that the best option then is to just play all 4 of them. So I do a narrow diamond system, 4 in the midfield, and have Luca as the one in front of the back 4 doing that job he does typically so well. Yes, he hasn't had the best start to the season. Everyone knows that. And if it was any other player, they probably would be getting dropped from the side right now. But I think because he's our captain, because Roy doesn't want any extra hassle to this side, that he wants to try and keep some consistency in the squads and the momentum going forward. I think he's not going to change up the captain on the pitch. He's not going to drop Luca, and I think that Luca will snap out of it eventually, but it's got to be quick. And then just ahead of him, I'd have Chiarte and Maya as the 2 centre mids ahead of him, and then just in front of them as the almost attacking mid role, I put MacArthur, and then obviously we all know MacArthur's role. He can drop back so well and come and help in defence. So it's I'd play all 4 of them. I think that every week I've been here saying I don't think this person deserves to get dropped if Maya comes in, and yeah, that was the case last Monday against Bournemouth. Chiarte I don't think deserved to be dropped at all after his really good performance against Newcastle. So for me, I play all 4 of them. New system, obviously. And then 2 up top, Townsend and Zaha. I think from an inside source, I say inside source, someone I know who's closely linked to the club or who has worked at Palace multiple times in the past, has said after interviewing Roy Hodgson after our Carabao Cup win against West Brom, after our Bournemouth game, in fact, he said that Roy is looking at going back to the 2 up top. That worked so well at the early stages of last season when he came into the Palace setup. So I'm expecting, you've heard it here first, I'm expecting to see Townsend and Zaha up front tomorrow against Wolves. So that's my predicted lineup. Now, in terms of how I think we approach the game, I think we're going to do what we do typically. We're going to try and obviously with this formation, I think we'll try and pack out the midfield. Hopefully get them on the counter, try and soak up their pressure, but we got to be pressing them as soon as they're on the ball. Second half against Bournemouth, we were so good at being bang on them. I know you can't do it for 90 minutes, I'm not expecting that, but it's so important in the first half at Sellers Park. We still haven't won, we still haven't got a goal at home, and that's unforgivable at this stage of the season. So I really want us just to press from the first whistle, put them under pressure, try and get the atmosphere building a bit. Homesdale fanatics, some of them should be at the game against Wolves, so the atmosphere should be getting better. There's no excuse for us not to just go at them, put them under pressure, because we know how good they are if they have time on the ball. Be wary of the counter-attack, of course, but hit them from the first whistle, try and get a goal within the first 10 minutes, and then settle the nerves, settle it down again. Don't do what Bournemouth did last week and go back into their shell a bit. Try and keep pressing them, keep looking for the second and give you that little breathing space. That's how I would approach the game. I'm confident that if we press and if there are good signs in the first 10 minutes will decide how this game goes for me. Really important we don't concede in the first 10 minutes like against Bournemouth, then it's always going to be an uphill battle. So if I'm going to have to predict a scoreline on this one, I don't want to be. I always predict. I always predict a Palace draw or a Palace win. I never predict us to lose, but I'm gonna go with a 2-1 Wolves win. And forgive me on this one because I want Palace to win, but I think Wolves, the way they're playing at the moment compared to how we're playing at the moment, the pressure they can put on us, they're key players. If they get any chance, we know from Moutinho's goal, for example, against Man United, they'll take any chance just like that. So, for me, I think that Wolves will have enough to win this game. But hopefully, that changes that causes me to jinx their victory. Every time I seem to predict the Palace win or draw, we don't go on to do it, apart from Huddersfield this season. So, fingers crossed, we do get the result. I'm really hoping we do. Again, a point I'd probably take, even though a wins are what we're looking for right now, but a point I'd probably take out of this because Wolves, like I said, are a very good team. They'll probably be a top 10 side this season. So thank you guys so much for watching this preview. I'll be back on the previews for the rest of the season now. Obviously, guys, as always, comment your thoughts on the game down below. Do we have a chance in this game? Do you agree with my formation? If not, what formation would you pick? Which players would you play or drop? And yeah, hopefully we can start getting some points on the board before the very tricky run coming up with the top 6 sides. We've got 3 back-to-back coming up late October, early November after international break. So last game before the international break, let's hope it's a good one. I'll be vlogging it tomorrow. Hope to see a lot of you guys there. Let's do this. Come on, you Palace.